live 5 for 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
We are tracking Tropical Storm Helene. Viper 6 alert days going in effect from Thursday evening through Friday morning, with potential impacts including flooding, damaging wind gusts, and even tornadoes. I will break down all the details coming up.
Now on News Channel 666, change is coming to Augusta City government.
We're going to take a look at what the future could hold for the city administrator position as your news at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. We'll get to your top stories in just a moment, but first, here's Chief Meteorologist Jenna Petracci watching the forecast over the next couple of days.
Yeah, definitely a busy week. So we're starting out with the heat, right? So it's the first week of fall, and it's feeling very hot. We also have these pop-up isolated storms, but then within the next couple of days, we're cooling down, and that's when we'll get some beneficial rain, but also some bad impacts potentially from the tropics, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But right now, it is mostly dry. We're just watching this one storm that was a special weather statement. Now that has expired. Luckily, things are starting to improve now, but this is still bringing some heavy rain anywhere from Washington over towards Lincolnton. There's the latest scan. You continue to see it breaking apart. Still a few lightning strikes there, but not looking nearly as strong, so that will not become severe. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam not showing any rain in Augusta, but it's cloudy and it's breezy. Temperatures are anywhere from the mid-80s through low 90s still. Cooler in McCormick because of the rain, 84 degrees, 90 in Allendale, Bamberg at 92, Aiken only at 85 degrees, 90 in Swainsboro, Wrightsville at 90, 87 in Edgefield and Lincolnton. Higher dew points north of I-20 where we see those pop-up showers and storms. Dew point of 75 in McCormick, but some drier air further towards the south. Winds are coming in from the south, 13 miles per hour now in Augusta. Gusts up to around 20 miles per hour. We'll continue to see that south to southeast wind the rest of this evening. Mostly clear skies by 9 o'clock and temperatures in the upper 70s. As for satellite and radar, we have an approaching cold front, so we're watching that, and we're also watching Tropical Storm Helene. Right now, winds are at 50 miles per hour. This is the latest update as of 5 o'clock. It is off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and will be heading into the Gulf of Mexico shortly, and from there, it will be strengthening. So once again, we have Viper 6 alert days in effect Thursday night through Friday morning. Our main threats will be the strong winds, the flooding, and a tornado threat. So we are starting to get higher confidence here that we could have those significant impacts. But in the meantime, just the isolated storms tonight, mostly cloudy tomorrow, and we'll start to see the rain moving in on Thursday. I'll have more details on all of that coming up. Back to you.
All right, Jenna, thanks a lot. Big changes at the top of Augusta City government.
Commissioners voting for a new permanent city administrator to replace longtime interim Takia Dowse. Then commissioners got the resignations of Dowse and 2 other department heads. Here's George Escala.
Takia Dowse started this day as interim city administrator. It ended with her no longer working for the city as commissioners accepted her forced resignation.
It's definitely not what I expected today, but nonetheless, all things work together for my good.
Commissioners naming current IT director Tamika Allen the new city administrator, effective immediately.
I am ready. I am truly ready. I'm ready to do whatever I can to make a positive impact on Augusta.
After naming Allen, commissioners going into legal session for more than 3 hours, calling in longtime finance director Donna Williams and procurement director Jerry Sands. Commissioners later accepting the 2 department directors' resignations.
I really think is a bad deal due to the fact that the mayor has basically effectively destabilized the entire government of Augusta, Georgia.
All of these ladies have served this city well in the capacity that they served in. So where we go from here, I couldn't tell you. Commissioner saying asking the 3 to step down shows they are serious about making changes to city government.
At some point, there has to be a change if you're going to change the culture, the direction of any organization. The commission took action today, hoping to help start that process of changing the culture.
Dowse will receive 12 months severance pay, 6 months for Sam's, and 6 months for Williams, who after 45 years on the job was escorted out by deputy marshals. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
An update now to a story we told you about last month. In August, Thompson Mayor Benji Cranford was indicted for giving alcohol to inmates on a work detail within the city limits. It stemmed from an incident in early June when the Thompson Police Department asked the GBI to investigate Cranford. Governor Brian Kemp has now assigned a committee to review the indictment to determine whether the mayor should be suspended. Count on us to keep you updated on this developing story.
4 people now facing charges in the death of a Thompson man. It happened at a home on Royal Street this month. 39-year-old Calvin Hart Jr. shot and killed. And now 20-year-old Antavius Griffin has been charged with murder. 18-year-old Jatavius Griffin, 19-year-old Tony Griffin Jr., and 18-year-old Tyrion Mew are all facing gun and gang activity charges. Georgia leaders getting set for the effects of Tropical Storm Helene, where today Governor Brian Kemp declared a state of emergency. 500 National Guard troops standing by to be deployed in whatever area is heavily affected. The director of GEMA says they're working around the clock to make sure they're ready.
A couple feet of water can wash away an SUV, so we don't want you getting yourself in harm's way. Secondly, when you put yourself in harm's way unnecessarily, we have to send our first responders to respond to you, which they're going to, but unnecessarily. You shouldn't have been in that situation, so do us and our first responders a huge favor by staying out of those conditions until we can at least get out there and assess the situation and get those roads back open.
Ms. Stalling says make sure you have an emergency kit ready, make sure you have food and water in the house, and charge your phones.
Some Richmond County parents are speaking out about school buses being late. Hannah Latier joins us now live from the transportation area with more. Hannah.
Yeah, Jenny, parents we spoke to tell us these issues have been going on for a while, with buses sometimes being hours late picking up their children or hours late dropping them off. They've taken to social media to cite their issues with the bus tracking app, a lack of communication between the bus drivers and schools, and there not being enough bus drivers. Parents have had to leave work to come back and take their kids to school or keep students out of school altogether due to no transportation. One parent says she thinks the solution to the problem is deeper than paying bus drivers more or having hiring fares.
The next generation workforce is just not doesn't care about money in the same way. They care about work-life balance. They care about time. They care about their ability to maintain their mental state. So you can have as many hiring fares. They could jack that thing up to $30 an hour. They're still going to have a revolving door.
And the next school board meeting is Tuesday, October 22nd. We did reach out to a Richmond County school system spokesperson, but I've yet to hear back. Live in Augusta, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
Bank of America is donating $15,000 to help the Master's Table Soup Kitchen's urban farm. Each year, Bank of America donates to Golden Harvest. The funds are put back into resources like the fresh produce grown in the garden on Fenwick Street, right by the soup kitchen. Farmers say donations like this help strengthen their ability to provide food.
We've slowly started to kind of forget about gardening and farming, and I see this place as really just that reminder of, if you don't have a lot of space, it's okay. You can still just get a pot and put a tomato seed in there and grow some fruit for tomorrow.
You can also help continue the growth of the garden by making a donation or volunteering your time. To learn how, just go to our website, WJBF.com.
Coming up, an NFL legend going before Congress.
What revelation Brett Favre made during the hearing? Next.
News Nation Tonight.
And Jenna joins us now for another check of the weather.
Well, once again, we have a Viper 6 alert day from Thursday night through Friday morning due to Tropical Storm Helene. We are watching for the potential of flooding, damaging winds, power outages, and tornadoes. I will have your full forecast when we return.
Next Plumbing, you're going to put me in jail. Kamala Harris, for you. FFX is responsible for the content of this ad.
Weather headlines on News Channel 6. Brought to you by Hinkson Roofing. The live Viper 6 mobile app. Download it today. Now, your most accurate accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5/6.
Welcome back. It is another hot day today. Some isolated showers and storms with all that fuel from the heat and humidity. Really just one pesky storm, though, that we've been watching. This really impacted Crawfordville around a couple hours ago and is now in Wilkes County. Heavy rain around Washington and some light rain into Lincoln and McCormick counties, but it's no longer a very strong storm. Lightning counter is definitely starting to decrease now. The rain is looking much lighter. Beautiful evening here in Swainsboro. Completely clear skies on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam. 91 degrees here in town. South wind of 13 miles per hour. Mid-70s though in Washington. Cooler with the rain. Hotter temperatures down towards the south. Still a lot of low 90s this evening. With a cold front out to the west of us. Scattered showers and storms ahead of it. Several severe thunderstorm warnings this evening, but outside of our area. We are watching Tropical Storm Helene very closely. This is the 5 o'clock advisory. Winds are at 50 miles per hour. It's off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and will be strengthening as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. It's expected to be a Category 1 hurricane tomorrow and then a major hurricane by Thursday afternoon. Notice the cone is still pretty large here, anywhere from the Florida Panhandle just outside of Tampa Bay. That's where it could be making landfall. And no matter where it goes, really, at this point, Augusta and many places in the CSRA will be on the east side of it, and that's where the most significant impacts are. By Friday morning, 70-mile-per-hour winds still expected with a tropical storm near Albany, so it is likely that it will be maintaining that tropical storm strength as it moves into the CSRA. Here's our futurecast model. It's off the coast of Cancun by tomorrow morning, then into the Gulf of Mexico, strengthening significantly, and then moving into the Florida Peninsula. So this is Thursday at 6 p.m. We will have those outer rain bands impacting us, but most of the impacts will start around 8 o'clock Thursday night, continuing through around 11 a.m. Friday morning. Here's lunchtime on Friday. We are done with it. Winds will still be gusty, but we are done with the rain for the rest of your Friday. Here's our high-resolution futurecast model. Wednesday at 8 p.m., you can see torrential rain coming down to the west of our viewing area around Atlanta. That's where rainfall totals could even reach up to 10 inches from this event. For us, it's going to be our western counties that have the highest chance of flooding, but we really won't start seeing that rain until Thursday morning. Widespread showers throughout the afternoon, then some heavier downpours as we go into Thursday night. There's 8 o'clock. Once again, the highest impacts will be happening from around 8 o'clock Thursday into the overnight hours. 2 a.m. on Friday, torrential rain coming down, gusty winds, with the center of the storm possibly even moving into the CSRA. Wind gusts around 25 miles per hour for the first half of Thursday, increasing up to around 45 miles per hour by the evening. And then you can actually see where it's possible that we could have the eye of that tropical storm moving through. Notice the calmer winds within the center of it, but just to the east, that's where winds could be gusting between 39 to even 73 miles per hour. That's tropical storm strength. But then the winds start to settle down by lunchtime Friday. Rainfall totals up to around 2 to 3 inches by Thursday evening, then an additional couple inches possible on Friday, up to around 5 inches by the time this is said and done. Flood watch in our western counties, and also the threat of severe weather. Slight risk for our southern counties, with that risk being tornadoes. Tropical storm watch in effect for Jenkins and Screven counties as well. But let's talk about some good news. We will see a cool down at least, and all of this rain will be beneficial other than the flooding threat, of course. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s starting on Thursday, continuing into next week. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Viper 6 alert day Thursday and Friday. Beautiful sunshine again on Saturday. It will be a great weekend. Then next week, a few showers, and then back to sunshine again next Wednesday through Friday. Temperatures only in the upper 70s. And congratulations to today's umbrella winner. That is Carolyn Jenkins from Augusta. Carolyn, you can pick up your umbrella here at the station and sign up to win yours on WJBF.com.
All right, Jenna, thanks a lot. Straight ahead, a huge Saturday coming up in Tuscaloosa.
A top 5 matchup between Georgia and Alabama. Sports is next. I did know.
On CSRA.org, do you have what it takes to make miracles happen this holiday season? Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Hickson Roofing. The News Channel 6 mobile app is now even better. Download it today. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
And as Jenna told you, we are preparing for the possibility of bad weather Thursday night into Friday. The threat is already creating big changes in the high school football schedule. 6 football games have been officially moved to Wednesday, including the big Barnwell-Silver Bluff rivalry. All times are at 7 p.m., except for Batesburg-Leesville game, which has been moved to 7:30 p.m. We have a running list of changes at WJBF.com. And the biggest game of the college football season so far will happen right here on News Channel 6. The stage is set for Georgia versus Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The Bulldogs gear up for a top 5 matchup against the Crimson Tide. Now, the last time these two teams met, the Tide beat the Bulldogs in the SEC championship game last season. Now, the Tide look to spoil the party again as the Bulldogs, they're currently on a 42-game regular season winning streak. Georgia's last win over the Tide came in the 2022 national championship game. The Bulldogs, however, haven't shied away from the big stage.
I really look at it like this is a hell of an opportunity for our kids, our program, national stage, and we're on the national stage a lot. We've been on the national stage a lot, especially the last 3 or 4 years. So it's the reason kids want to come to Georgia. They say, I want to play in games like that.
Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. right here on News Channel 6. And the Clemson Tigers will welcome Stanford to the ACC this Saturday. It'll be just the second time in history that these two teams have both played each other. Now, they're both coming in at 2-1. The Tigers are coming off a dominant 59-35 home win against NC State. Now, Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik went 16 of 24 for 209 yards with 3 touchdown passes. Klubnik will go head-to-head with Cardinal quarterback Ashton Daniels, a Beaufort, Georgia native.
They're going to compete their butts off, and so we've got to match the type of energy and effort that they play with for sure. For them offensively, got a lot of experience up front. It's all about the quarterback. I mean, this kid, he's local here down in Georgia, and very good player.
The quarterback battle will take place in Death Valley. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. on ESPN. And on the diamond, the Atlanta Braves begin a crucial 3-game series against the New York Mets. Now, both teams are vying for the last NL wildcard spot. If the Mets win at least 2 games, they'll clinch a wildcard berth. But if the Braves would miss the playoffs, though, for the first time since 2017. However, if the Braves sweep the series, then they'll have a 1-game lead over the Mets. Whoever wins the series would also give them the tiebreaker if they finish the regular season tied. Now, game time is at 7:20 p.m. We'll have those highlights at 11. Finally, the 8th-seeded Atlanta Dream are gearing up for Game 2 of the WNBA playoffs. They're looking to bounce back from their Game 1 loss to the New York Liberty. 2-time Olympian Ryan Howard and WNBA All-Star Alicia Gray will look to carry their team to a win. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. tonight on ESPN. That'll do it for sports. We'll be back.
Wow,
Atlanta Braves.
Mostly cloudy and mostly dry tomorrow, high of 89. Cooling down for Thursday and Friday with the Viper 6 alert days in effect as we track impacts from Helene. It will be windy and very rainy. Then on Saturday, drying out. The sun is coming back out, mid-80s over the weekend. A few showers early next week. Sunshine and highs only in the upper 70s late next week.
All right, Jenna, thanks. And that is our report for now. Thank you for watching. We're back for News Channel 6 at 7 after World News Tonight.
And we'll see you again for News Channel 6 at 11. Have a great evening.